And this is Combate Global live from Mexico City. Is Mexico versus Argentina. Oh, it's a big rivalry in soccer, but now we're putting it in La Jaula. Up first, Erickson Quinzo taking on Cruz, Garcia. So you can see 27 for Quinzo in the age compared to 23 of Garcia, a lot younger. The weight 158.4 to 159. And the record there, as you can see. We'll be back here with now the official introduction. Beatriz.
Y arrancamos con mucha más acción, las reglas de la jaula. 3 vueltas de 5 minutos, 3 jueces, utilizando el sistema de 10 puntos. Este duelo en la división peso ligero desbao. In the lightweight division, los jueces son the judges are Fernando Salas, Horacio López y Napoleón Piña. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, introducing the blue corner, wearing yellow, vestido de amarillo. Su peso oficial, 158.4 libras. His official weight, 158.4 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula con un récord profesional de 5 victorias y 3 derrotas tonight. He enters la jaula with 5 victories and 3 losses. De Ecuador vía México City, México, Erickson Quinzo. Presentando la esquina roja, introducing the red corner, wearing red, vestido de rojo. Su peso oficial, 159 libras. He tipped the scale with 159 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula invicto como profesional con 3 victorias tonight. He enters la jaula undefeated as a pro with 3 victories. De León, Guanajuato, México, Cruz Garcia. El referee, Antonio Guerrero.
Peleadores al centro. Ya conocen el reglamento. Hagan una buena pelea. Sigan mis indicaciones en todo momento. Choquen guantes si así lo desean. Esquinas.
Antonio Guerrero, the referee here in Mexico. Garcia, as you heard, steps in La Jaula. Undefeated. Taking on Erickson Quinzo out of Ecuador, but repping Mexico, where he now calls home since he trains in the world-renowned gym Bone Breakers and Martinez team. Cruz Garcia, known as El Destructor. Great action, very fast, very quick. 40% of his wins have been by way of TKO, technical knockout. Had a solid winning record as an amateur, a national champion in Mexico right here. Obviously, you have to come in as a favorite as you have that crowd right behind you for Cruz Garcia. And there's a lot of pressure, too. You're in your home country. You got Argentina taking on Mexico. You have the crowd right behind you. You don't want to be that one person that goes to the defeat in your home backyard. As for Quinzo, has a background of course, judo, Muay Thai, then dabbled into MMA, which is what he is focusing all his attention to. Also played soccer. He's a blue belt in jiu-jitsu and also a blue belt in the Galvin combat system. At the same time, he is a student of the game and a teacher as he teaches mixed martial arts classes. He's coming off a win against Victor Nunez. Quinzo already working La Jaula. Referee, Mr. Antonio, letting these folks know, hey, let's put the face in. That's what we're all about here in Combate Global. We're about mucho más acción. We're about much more action. There's no easy fights. I know it's a term overused, but Combate Global is all about that. It's just non-stop action. Quinzo has a 50% in wins by way of TKO. There's the break up there. Cruz Garcia in red, Quinzo in yellow. Cruz feeling the energy of the crowd. Good feint there with that right leg. Good way of throwing in that hooks. Straight teep. Quinzo fires back with his own teep. But moving just too lateral here. I like how Cruz is switching stance. Oh, that one's got to hurt a knee to the inner thigh. They said it was a low blow, but no, it was not. It's more the inner thigh. Oh, he basically just gave that takedown. He went in there, and Cruz just flipped him over like a pancake. And now in the half guard. Cruz trying to get off this, positioning that forearm, the left forearm on Quinzo's face. Waiting for Quinzo to position himself and make a mistake so Cruz can take advantage, and he's just waiting to pull that right leg out. There he does. Taking in that look, fisheye view. Some shots from Cruz. Cruz needs to take care, though, of that left foot. Doesn't really have anything, Quinzo, but good way of Cruz reversing it. I don't want to move that way because Cruz could position himself into a dangerous position with that foot. And this is very early into the fight, so sweat, that slipperiness doesn't come into play. 1 minute to go. Cruz just waiting here for something to happen. Referee may step in to have some action. There he is. Cruz escapes from that. Now he's going to get the back. What will Quinzo do? Cruz, not quite sure if I can see it from this position, this angle, but he may have a rear naked choke. Don't know how deep that is. He does have it from there. He's out. That's it. He was out. Cruz Garcia with a rear naked choke. Oh, he woke up and smelled the flowers. We'll be back with the official result after the break.
El tiempo oficial, 4 minutos y 33 segundos del round número 1. The official time, 4 minutes and 33 seconds of round number 1. And your winner, by way of submission, el ganador, por sumisión, de sangre mexicana, Cruz Garcia.
First victory goes to the Mexicans. Cruz Garcia picking up the win.
4:33 del round 1.
Amazing stuff from Cruz Garcia. Quinzo just put himself in a big major mistake. Went for the takedown. Cruz flipped him over, got right into half guard, and then started just making his moves. Since then, capitalized on a good way of Cruz of reading that and taking this victory right here in Mexico City. You heard the loud, boisterous crowd losing their minds for the win. As we take a look back at this fight, there's the slip up right there. He went for the takedown, and in fact, instead of going for the lower part of the leg, he would seem more like he went for the thigh, and that's when Cruz Garcia basically clotheslined him and put him on his back, and then positioning himself, giving away his back, walked right into the rear naked choke, and that's all she wrote. Went to sleep. A victory for the Mexicans. Cruz Garcia with a hand up high. Up next, Ignacio Famozo taking on Esteban Sedano. 25 years old for Famozo compared to 24, 146 to 148, 5.8 for Sedano. And the record, as you see it there, 6-2 for Famozo coming in.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso pluma, we continue with much more action this bout. In the featherweight division, los jueces son the judges are Fernando Salas, Moisés Ruiz y Napoleón Piña. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul en the blue corner, wearing black, vestido de negro. Su peso oficial, 146 libras. He tipped the scale with 146 pounds. Con un récord profesional de 6 victorias y 2 derrotas. With a pro record of 6 victories and 2 losses. De Buenos Aires, Argentina, Ignacio El Fino Famozo. Presentando la esquina roja en the red corner, wearing red, vestido de rojo. Su peso oficial, 145.8 libras. His official weight, 145.8 pounds. Con un récord de 7 victorias y 1 derrota. With a pro record of 7 victories and 1 defeat. De Guadalajara, Jalisco, México, Esteban Sedano. El referee, Horacio López.
Famoso, Sedano, he platicado contigo con ustedes en los vestidores. Sigan el reglamento tácitamente, hagan una pelea limpia. Es el momento de checar guantes. Sus paneles, por favor.
And here we go, Famoso, out of Argentina, taking on Sedano, dressed up in red. Famoso, a champion in his home country of Argentina, taking on Esteban Sedano, who has one win so far this year. 45% of his wins have come by TKO. Ignacio Famoso, which translates in English to say it, not necessarily spelled that the way, but it does translate roughly to famous, although it's not spelled Famoso with an S, it's spelled with a Z. Trains out of Picante Fight Club, has a background in Taekwondo, known for his striking skills, and a black belt in kickboxing and blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. As far as Esteban Sedano, he trains out of Monsters MMA with Snoopy Galvez. Says his inspiration is his mother for motivating him to train and keep on fighting. Played soccer, has a background in Kung Fu, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and he says that he's an adrenaline junkie. Hence, that's why he's in La Jaula tonight. Sedano, though, did get clocked by Famoso. Good way of feinting there. Both testing each other out. They do know what they're capable of doing. Followed up by Cruz with some kicks. Famoso, good 1-2 combination with the jab, followed up by the cross. It's raining out here in Mexico City. Thunder, heavy rain. But I'll tell you, the punches inside this studio here are a lot louder than the thunder. Stiff jab from Famoso. Not blocking or protecting that lead leg from Famoso as the kicks are coming in from Cruz. Straight stiff jab from Famoso, but counters with a hook. Famoso said that he started to train mixed martial arts as a way to get himself off the street. His mother was one of the individuals who pushed him to go train martial arts. And ever since, I must say, mother knows best, because he's become a champion in his country. Oh, in his country, and now he's inside La Jaula of Combate Global for the first time. Great Cruz from taking in that jab. Still testing each other out. Not blocking those kicks from Cruz, which could leave a dent. If Cruz keeps connecting those calf kicks continuously, they could play a role later on in this fight. Great stiff jab. And he's not no one to shy away from his last name, because Ignacio Famozo has it tattooed on his back. Another combination. Cruz follows up, left from Ignacio, but nobody home. Cruz follows up again, taking into that fisheye view, putting you right smack center of La Jaula. So far, this fight is a chess match. Really tactical, really strategical. They haven't dabbled the ground yet, and I don't think they are. They're both strikers. Just waiting for the right moment to see who has the better end. Again, those kicks from Cruz. Now that altitude has to come into play here in Mexico City for Famozo. I myself walked in here, caught myself heavy breathing, and I said, hey, something wrong with me? And I reminded myself I'm in high altitude. How much of a play does that have in the fight for these Argentinians? Maybe they went up the mountains and trained for this. It's a good way to prepare themselves for a fight. With about 10 seconds left in this fight between Famozo and Cruz. Oh! Right hand from the Mexican. We're approaching the end of the round. We'll be back after the break.
Listo. Listo.
Here's a second of three. Famozo in the black trunks representing Argentina. And Cruz in the red representing Mexico City, where La Jaula is stationed tonight. Great La Jaula, it gives a lot of space for these fighters to move around. There's no corners in there. So there's no way here of finding any positions where you can corner yourself, because there are none. You have to keep moving. And like we saw in that first round, both these guys are tactical strikers, and they're testing each other out to see who breaks first. Great stiff jab from Ignacio of Argentina. Cruz attacking those legs. I called it earlier on in the first round to keep an eye on the left lead leg, and it's a bit rosy already. How much can those kicks come into play later in the fight? We will know very soon. Cruz switching the stance. Of course, Mexico backing up Cruz. Sedano. Esteban Sedano. Oh, good shot from Sedano. Sedano again with that kick. Great jab. Ignacio again, more stiff jab, but Esteban Sedano. Remember, a lot of pressure into these Mexicans. Cruz Garcia picked up a win earlier today. Can Esteban Sedano add another one? Another Mexican victory. Oh, great! Back kick from Esteban, and Ignacio recognizes it. So far, so good. These two dudes are putting in the work. Oh! It's like a car wreck. Both these guys striking at the same time. Referee Horacio Lopez informing Sedano and Famozo to hurry up. Lopez telling him to let's go, let's fight. Now this happens a lot when you get two strikers like Sedano and Famozo. They both know the capabilities, they know what their offensive is. And since they know that they're good at what they do, they have to calculate when to strike, because any mistake could be lethal. Now you can see Sedano being a bit more creative with that back kick. Some blood already pouring out of the Famozo's nose. Sedano has a little bit of blood as well. 1 minute left in this second round. Spinning back fist. Creativity is coming for Sedano. Oh. You know, I was talking to some of these guys, and they were adamant that, yeah, that altitude could be tricky. Maybe this is something that Famozo is facing right now. Great stiff jab from Famozo. Sedano weighing in, but Sedano taking a couple of shots to the head. Oh! That right hook from Famozo. Sedano counters back. Few seconds left to finish the second round. We got another 5 minutes left. Last round, 5 minutes. Sedano in red, Famozo in black. Just like we left off in the second round, this fight will not potentially go to the ground. It's going to stay on the feet. Both these guys are strikers. And both throwing in everything, using their striking. Again, Sedano working on those calf kicks. Famozo's left leg by that calf is a bit red already. How much damage has it done to Famozo? He keeps walking, he keeps running, he keeps kicking with it, so he seems to be fine. In fact, I think there's some blood coming out of there, as we can see on that left leg, and there it is. There's some blood pouring in by that quad area on the left side of that lead leg. Those kicks that Sedano has been taking have made an impact. And he's telling him, let's go, hit me again in the leg. Now, if we see Famozo switching stances, it's because those calf kicks have damaged that leg. Haven't seen it yet. Because he hasn't checked those kicks. That's the reason that leg has been bleeding. And Sedano knows it. Sedano switching the stance. Three minutes to go in this last round. Famozo going for the uppercut, the kick. Again, this has been a battle of strikers. I like the pace. It's not too fast. They know what they're capable of. Another kick to the leg for Famozo. Sedano just kicking it. Oh, and you can see the positioning of that leg of Famozo. The pain is there. Sedano kicking that leg like the Muay Thai fighters kick the bamboo sticks, the bamboo, to refine the shin, making that leg just lethal, sharp. Inner kick from Famozo. Sedano responds. Great stiff jab from Sedano. Famozo replies. Now, if you notice, throughout the fight, it's a warning there to keep those fingers in. You don't want to have any eye gouging, by mistake, of course. But when you have fighters that are just strikers and they're capable, now that exchange there, that left hook from Famozo caught right in the jaw of Sedano, but Sedano's still standing. Great stiff right hand. Combinations would be great, but at this point when there's about a minute left in the fight, you're just literally squeezing the last drip of gas. Sedano attacking. Now they're going. Seems like they might go and take this fight to the phone booth with 50 seconds left. Great jab from Famozo. Famozo pointing out to his corner. Confident. It has been a war between these two. About 30 seconds to go. The lateral kick, which could damage your meniscus if you kick right there near the knee. Another back and forth. About 10 seconds. I fear we're going to see fireworks in this last round. No attempts for takedowns. He said, let's go. In the center of La Jaula. Will both men respond? We're about to see Mexico City's in for a treat. We're back with more. And the final decision.
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. And the winner, by way of unanimous decision, el ganador, por decisión unánime, Ignacio
Ignacio El Fino Famozo picks up the win in enemy territory in Mexico. It's one win for the Argentines here in Mexico City. They came into an area where they have no fans other than their corner. They came and supported him. And let's take a look back at the fight. It's all a stand-up war between these two. 15 minutes of mucho más acción. Esteban Sedano working on that left lead leg of Ignacio, just connecting all the time. But it wasn't enough. Famozo, even though he got hit, he'll bounce back and hit him with 3 more shots, showing that he pushed the offensive in this fight. Didn't hold back. It's more like he was waiting for Sedano to strike and no answer with 3 more. He called the fight to conclude in the center of La Jaula. And surely enough, hey, that's his last name, Famozo. All right, up next, Lucia Apdelgarim taking on Karla Torres. Another battle between the Mexicans and the Argentinians. 21 for Lucia, 22 for Karla. The weight 116.7 to 115.1. Beatriz Calles.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso paja, we continue with much more action this bout. In the strawweight division, los jueces son, the judges are Horacio López, Moisés Ruiz y Napoleón Piña. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul in the blue corner, wearing blue, vestida de azul. Su peso oficial, 116.7 libras, her official weight, 116.7 pounds. Esta noche entra a la jaula con 4 victorias y 4 derrotas tonight. She enters la jaula with 4 victories and 4 losses. De Buenos Aires, Argentina, Lucia Mala onda. Apdelgarim. Su oponente en la esquina roja, her opponent on the red corner, wearing red, vestida de rojo. Su peso oficial, 115.1 libras, her official weight, 115.1 pounds, con un récord profesional de 5 victorias y 1 derrota, with a pro record of 5 victories and 1 defeat. De Guanajuato, México, Karla La Duraznito Torres. El referee, Fernando Salas.
Acércate, acércate. Ya conocen el reglamento. Hagan una pelea limpia y escúchenme todo el tiempo. Choquen los guantes si quieren.
All right, Torres representing Mexico in red, and Apdelgarim in blue representing Argentina. And there we go, Apdelgarim making her debut in Combate Global. And Karla Torres. Torres also making her debut here inside La Jaula. Great straight shot. Now Apdelgarim is no stranger of fighting in other parts of the world, as she has competed for Rizit. Has that international experience. Back in December of 2024 in that New Year's Eve fight card they have every year in Japan. She came out a little bit short there, losing on against Seika Izawa. Carlos Torres started training Taekwondo very early on in life, and she wanted to do something more challenging. Well, that was Lucia Apdelgarim. And now she trains out of Picante Fight Club, trains with the likes of Max Ortiz. If you noticed earlier on, Ignacio Famozo also trains out of Picante Fight Club. We've seen some competitors that will be competing here tonight from that club in Mexico City. She's in a 2-fight win streak. As for Karla Torres, her father was a fighter, so fighting runs in her blood. So purple belt in jiu-jitsu. And trains out of León, Guanajuato at Udensha Fighting System. Prior to being a mixed martial artist, she competed in the world of bodybuilding. She comes in with a 3-fight win streak. So far, a stand-up war between these two ladies. And every time you put our females to compete inside La Jaula, you know in Combate Global, we are going to deliver. Curious to see if Apdelgarim will put her ground game to the test. She has a 67% wins by way of TKO, already trying to take the fight to the ground for Apdelgarim. Good way of Karla holding herself back, trying to break the grip. See how Apdelgarim has that right leg behind Torres to break the balance there and bring her down. But Torres working very hard on bringing her weight down and ripping that grip. But Apdelgarim has it very tight. A good way of using those knees and using La Jaula to position herself. Oh, back elbow there from Torres. Good way of Apdelgarim moving out of the way. Another knee. Mexico City, Mexico in general, right? A country known for its fighting. And we've heard it here in Combate Global many times, not breaking that grip and just throwing Torres off. We've heard it many times here, fight like a Mexican. boxing and in MMA and in all combat sports. When you have Mexicans in there, they're going to bring it. But right now is Argentina versus Mexico. When you put these two, there are some rivalries. Torres going for the takedown, but Apdelgarim saying, nope, not today. Now when these two compete in the world of soccer, fans go bananas, and we're getting that same excitement here in Mexico City. Still testing each other. Apdelgarim coming with that stiff jab. Torres with that overhand right. About 30 seconds left in the fight. Still testing each other out. Low kick, but nobody home. You have to close that distance if you need to hit that kick. As she walks in, Torres following up with the uppercut, nobody home. We'll be back with more. Second chapter of this bout, you got Torres in red representing Mexico, and Apdelgarim from Argentina. Torres with a splendid record of 5-1 compared to Apdelgarim's even 4-4. But hoping to go above 500 with a victory here tonight in Mexico City, walking into enemy territory. Torres, better known as La Duraznito, and Apdelgarim, La Mala Onda, or the bad vibe translated there. Torres just swinging for the fences, trying to finish off this fight very early on. You see, Torres just waiting for the opportunity. For Apdelgarim, she is on a 3-fight win streak. Both of those fights there by unanimous decision and one by strike. That all happened this year, 2025. So she is coming in with that winning streak. As for Karla Torres, also coming in a winning streak. So when you are hot, you're red hot in a winning streak, you pick up that momentum, hoping that it will come into play in the fight. As we're now approaching 3 minutes of the second round. Creativity coming out of Torres. Thing is, when you throw in those creative movements such as spinning back elbows and spinning back fists, it's sometimes a risk. And you have to make sure that you're very close. You don't want to have a lot of gap in between. If not, you're going to be punching the air. Apdelgarim positioning Torres toward La Jaula. That jab connected for Torres. Kick to the lead leg of Apdelgarim. Stiff jab again from Apdelgarim. Now into the body, now working different levels. That one had some damage. That one took her out. Apdelgarim smells blood. Now she's attacking. She's going full frontal. And perhaps another victory. Yes, indeed, for the Argentinos. A victory for Lucia Apdelgarim. We will be back with more and the official results after the break.
El tiempo oficial, 3 minutos y 1 segundo del round número 2. The official time, 3 minutes and 1 second of round number 2. And the winner by technical knockout, la ganadora por knockout técnico, Lucia Apdelgarim.
Apdelgarim takes a victory for Argentina. so far, so good for the visitors. Here in Mexico City, El Jefe Campbell McLaren inside La Jaula could only mean one thing, and that is he gets two thumbs up for this fight. Picante fighting, wearing their proud chest out with the victories from Famozo and now Apdelgarim. Apdelgarim just right from the top, working on that striking. Once here, she did try to take her down. However, decided, well, it's not going away from me. I'm going to take it right down to the center of La Jaula. And it was when she started to work the different levels, right here, right to the gut, right to the liver. Torres started going back. Apdelgarim knows she was hurt. She just continued to pummel. And now she improves her record, bringing it over 500. Great display for the Argentina. Was that shot right there? Took her air out and followed through. Just straight combinations to finish off Torres at this point. She was just waiting to recover, but there was just not, there was plenty of time still on the clock there that maybe she could have waned out. Up next, Pablo Ramos taking on Brandon Gonzalez. We've seen Gonzalez here in Combate, better known as El Prendido, taking on Pablo Ramos, also from Picante Fight Club.
Continuamos con mucha más acción este duelo. En la división peso gallo, we continue with much more action this bout. In the bantamweight division, los jueces son the judges are Horacio López, Moisés Ruiz y Napoleón Piña. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul, women in the blue corner, wearing blue, vestido de azul. Su peso oficial, 134.3 libras, his official weight, 134.3 pounds, con un récord profesional de 4 victorias y 1 derrota. With a pro record of 4 victories and 1 defeat. De Buenos Aires, Argentina, Pablo Ramos. Su oponente en la esquina roja, in the red corner, wearing red, vestido de rojo. Su peso oficial, 135.4 libras, his weight, 135.4 pounds, con un récord de 5 victorias y 2 derrotas. With a pro record, 5 victories and 2 losses. De Zacatecas vía Tijuana, Baja California, México, Brandon Prendido González. El referee, Fernando Salas.
Acércate, acércate. Ya conocen el reglamento. Hagan una pelea limpia y escúchenme todo el tiempo. Choquen guantes si quieren. Esquinas.
And here we go. Brandon El Prendido Gonzalez in red, taking on Pablo Ramos of Argentina in blue. Another clash between the Mexicans and the Argentinos, or Argentines, here in Mexico City. The crowd is behind Gonzalez. Ramos walking into enemy territory, goes straight down for the takedown, but got to wait for that guillotine choke attempt. I don't see how deep Gonzalez has it. And one thing, and it's backed up by his nickname, he's El Prendido, he's always on. So he must be brewing something here in this position. A little awkward position, can't really see from this area if he has it tight or not. Escaped right there, head movement out the way. Pablo Ramos, now he has an attempt to the guillotine. Not gonna get it from this position, especially if Gonzalez's back is on the back right there by the jaula. And now he escapes. Straight knee in between the clinch from Gonzalez. Now pushing him back. Fernando Salas, our referee here in Mexico City. Gonzalez trains at a Antrim gym, has competed already in Combate Global several times. Pablo Ramos started to train at 16 years old in martial arts. Said he wanted to learn how to defend himself. And now calls Red Fight Center and Picante Fight Club his home base to train. Has a black belt in kickboxing. And when he's not training and learning some new moves, he's reading. He's a bookworm. Now, weird position here as Gonzalez is trying to get that guillotine choke out the way, and he sure did. It didn't really have anything for Pablo Ramos. Now Gonzalez pressuring him, cornering Ramos towards the jaula. Trying to get the mount, or at least his back, and sure he does. There are the shots. Pablo Ramos could be in a dangerous position here if he does not escape. Good way of Gonzalez using la jaula there to escape. A shot to the hamstring area. That's going to leave a bruise tomorrow night. Now he's trying to put one hook in, hoping for a number two. And there's the next hook. Trying to open up Ramos and flatten him out. Now he has that body lock. We could see an attempt to the rear naked choke, a standing one, and now the flat. Oh, it's almost like a sunset flip. But Gonzalez withstood it, and then he chokes him out. The move backfired. A victory for the Mexicans. Brandon Gonzalez, El Prendido, with the win. Boy, oh boy, Mexico is elated. We'll be back with the official result after the break.
El tiempo oficial, 3 minutos y 3 segundos, el round número 1, the official time, 3 minutes and 3 seconds of round number 1. And your winner, by way of submission, el ganador, por sumisión, de sangre mexicana, Brandon Gonzalez!
Brandon Gonzalez with a victory at 3 minutes and 3 seconds of the first round. It seemed that Ramos was about to escape. Did more like a sunset flip, and it seemed almost like Gonzalez landed on his head. And that wasn't the case. He withstood the weather, the storm, and held on to the rear naked choke and pulled off the victory for the Mexicans right here at home in Ciudad de Mexico. Campbell McLaren, all smiles. He liked this fight. Gonzalez, Pablo Ramos, Mexico and Argentina. The takedown attempt from Ramos. Gonzalez holding on to that guillotine, but nobody there. Now it seemed that he was in deep positioning here. He puts in the body lock. He goes for the rear naked choke. Ramos tries to be slick and does like a sunset flip, but instead of him thinking that his head or Gonzalez's head was gonna hit the canvas, no, it was the right shoulder that did. So it didn't knock him out. He kept on with that rear naked choke, and a victory for the Mexican. Looking real good for Gonzalez's trajectory here inside La Jaula. Must say, a great victory for this young man who trains at Adventure Gym. Up next, our ladies once again, Camila Reynoso taking on Nicole Geraldo to finish off tonight's fight card. 22 years old for Reynoso, 26 for Geraldo. As Beatriz Callis with the official introduction.
Damas y caballeros, este es el evento estelar de esta noche. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. At a cash weight of 120 pounds, a un peso pactado de 120 libras. Los jueces son Fernando Salas, Horacio López y Moisés Ruiz. Y ahora, damas y caballeros, llegó el momento de un combate global. Presentando la esquina azul in the blue corner, wearing white and blue, vestida de blanco y azul. Su peso oficial, 119.5 libras, her official weight, 119.5 pounds, con un récord profesional de 6 victorias y una derrota. With a pro record of 6 victories and 1 defeat. De Buenos Aires, Argentina, Camila Reynoso. Presentando la esquina roja in the red corner, wearing red and green, vestida de rojo y verde. Su peso oficial, 117.5 libras, her official weight, 117.5 pounds, con un récord profesional de 6 victorias y una derrota. With a pro record of 6 victories and 1 defeat. De Mexico City, México, Nicole Geraldo. El referee, Antonio Guerrero.
Peleadoras al centro. Ya conocen el reglamento. Hagan una buena pelea. Sigan mis indicaciones en todo momento. Choquen guantes si así lo desean.
Antonio Guerrero, the third person in La Jaula. Camila Reynoso in blue. And Geraldo, dressed up in her Mexican colors. Green, red, and white. Right from the start, two ladies that come in with a record of 6-1. As we see Camila Reynoso out of Argentina, training out of the ADM Centro Deportivo with T. Martinez. She's a purple belt in Jiu-Jitsu. 6-1, a very, very nice record to start off in her early career as a mixed martial artist and debuting here in Combate Global. For Nicole, she has a background in Taekwondo. She said that, hey, I've had a lot of experience in Taekwondo, went on a losing streak, and that's when her father said, you know what? It's time to switch your sport. And she ventured into mixed martial arts. And it was thanks to her father who motivated her and pushed her to look into this sport. Training out of Invictus, trained by Raul Zaragoza. Started Taekwondo at a very early age, at 8 years old. Very tall there as for Geraldo. Has that reach, long legs. Striking here just to kick off the fight. Still trying to test each other out, feel each other out. Good stuff there from Camila. Great stiff right hand from Geraldo. The guard kind of throws me off though, kind of not really positioned comfortably, but good away there of Buttercup from Argentina, Camila Buttercup Reynoso for the takedown. Reminds me of the good song of Buttercup, Buttercup. Remember that was a classic out there back then. Well, the young kids, I don't think you'll know what I'm talking about. But then again, good way there of putting that left knee and pinning the arm of Geraldo. A good way of moving it out. And I must say, when you put that shin on the bicep, now I know when you put a toast in the oven there how that feels. Because boy, oh boy, does that hurt. Camila Reynoso, a champion in her home country. Phenomenal record to walk in. She's had championships that she's won. And she comes with a very strong background and a very, very good resume. Again with that knee. She wants to get that right leg out from half guard so she could position herself to get full guard, mount. Great. Geraldo trying to put those feet out there to turn the fight over. Those long legs. So for total domination from Reynoso on the ground, leaving Nicole Geraldo puzzled. Reynoso putting in that work on the mats. You can see she still has the half guard for Geraldo. She wants to keep it there, maybe recuperate and get back the guard. But if you see how Reynoso is using the head to put pressure on her face and then follows it up with an elbow. So it's more like a tactic, just to fool her and confuse her, put her in an uncomfortable position, and then just follow up with the elbows. Or the punches or the hammer fist. Now she got the guard, now she has the guard for Geraldo. Now Geraldo's searching for an arm. And now the slam. Didn't do much here from that. But the domination is surely from Reynoso on the ground as this first round comes to an end. We'll be back after the break. Second round, our referee reminds us, Antonio Herrero here from Mexico City, is Argentina taking on Mexico. Geraldo in red, green, and white. Reynoso repping Argentina in blue or teal and white. So far in that first round, we saw Reynoso dominating on the ground. Sure, she'll try to go and replicate that in the second round. Now for the clinch. Geraldo now using La Jaula to pressure her and pin her there. But will she work the level? Now the underhook. Some knees from Geraldo would be very, in fact, she has those long legs that will help her get those knees to do some damage to the torso of Reynoso. Now for the takedown attempt, but no, it backfires, and instead, Reynoso once again on top, in half guard. Now, a good way here for Reynoso is to keep pressuring the head and lift that right leg or the left leg, and with the right, break the grip of the half guard from Geraldo. And she nearly is out. Now she's positioning that knee, trying to open it up. She nearly has that leg out, but Geraldo just stubborn, won't let it go, playing what she needs to do. Good way of holding that right arm and pinning the left. This is just brutal tactics from Reynoso, leaving her with nothing to defend herself, no shield whatsoever. When you pin the left arm with your knee and you hold the right arm, wow. And there's a submission attempt right here, but couldn't get the grip. Now back to the ground and pound punches. A bloodied Mexican, Nicole Geraldo, on the ground. Right in the eyebrow area. Oh, and now she gets the mouth. Now Reynoso's in trouble. Oh, the elbows. The damage has been done. It looks like a horror film there inside La Jaula. It's non-stop. Guerrero might step in and stop this fight. No, Geraldo somehow finds a way within her gut to grab the ankle. But consider that there's a lot of sweat and blood in here. It's kind of hard for her to get a good grip on it. Reynoso very confident, not fazed by the fact that Geraldo has her ankle, because she doesn't have a good grip. She needs to move the hand a little higher by the Achilles there to make the pain and come into play. And Reynoso knows it. She's fighting it off. Geraldo doesn't have anything at all. More like she has the toes. And now she's going to fight. Good way of Reynoso of hanging in there. And maybe a leg lock here as well, but I don't see that Geraldo just knows when to get it here. I mean, right now she has nothing. Now she's gonna get up. Now Geraldo fighting to get up on her feet. Reynoso staying at the bottom. She wants to keep this fight to the ground. Reynoso giving her back. What would Geraldo do? Reynoso with the back. It's like she has staying composed. Putting in that palm on the face of Reynoso. But Geraldo weathered the storm. And now she gets on top and side mount. And now the end of the round is approaching. We will see 5 more minutes of action between the two. We'll be back. Last round, Antonio Guerrero, the third person in La Jaula, gives us the okay to finish off this bout between the Mexicans and the Argentinos. Reynoso dressed in teal and white. Geraldo, where the Mexican colors, the green, the red, and the white. So far, it's been Reynoso who's been dominating this fight. But Geraldo still has heart. Nearly submitted, nearly finished, but she found a way to survive and see the last chapter of this fight. Mexico City, of course, shouting, motivating Nicole Geraldo. She has a home jaula advantage. Reynoso again with the striking, just waiting for that moment to take this fight to the ground where she's had much success in that fisheye view, taking you right smack inside La Jaula. There makes some exchanges of knees. And there's that takedown attempt. La Jaula's in the way though. Geraldo looking at her corner, straight down to the bottom. Good way of Reynoso pinning both legs. It's a good tactic there and really uncomfortable because you can't shrimp out. And slowly but surely she's making her way to the mount. She wants to flatten her on her back. But right now pinning her to La Jaula could be very effective as well. Right now, all Geraldo has is that left arm to protect herself, because that right arm is just pinned down to the ground in good way of Reynoso, of putting all that pressure. Almost forcing Geraldo to give her back. Good shots right there. Leaving Geraldo nearly defensive here. She's not protecting it out whatsoever. Putting that hand in the back of her head. Turtling up. Geraldo's in a good position because her corner is right there. She can hear to the instructions. However, she finds herself in a dangerous position right here in the mount with about a little more than 2 minutes to go in this last round. All Reynoso needs to do here is continue with that flurry of punches and elbows and hammer fists and forearms to finish off the last round. Geraldo, just any attempt to just escape from mount using La Jaula, those long legs to reverse the position, but it's nearly impossible. She's taking a lot of damage and the energy nearly almost wiped out. Good way of Reynoso positioning herself there. Prevent any sweeps or any neck bridges there from Geraldo that could get her out of the mount. More hammer fists. And this win is crucial because right now we're pretty much even Stevens here with the Mexicans and the Argentinians. So whoever wins this one will go home victorious. There is an attempt here for the armbar. All Reynoso needs to do is grab that right arm. Hold it on tight, but considering there's blood, there's sweat, hand becomes very slippery and hard to grab onto and hold on. You don't want to risk it when there's less than a minute to go in this fight and you're dominating, you're up. But there it is, she's positioning that left knee. Reynoso busted open. See, but she was using the chest there as an offensive weapon, just bloodied. Like a scene of American Psycho there without that blood pouring and gushing from Geraldo. About 10 seconds to go. This fight may wrap it up, and it may seem that Reynoso will come up with the win. Reynoso, unrelentless, will be back with the final result after the break.
After 3 rounds of much more action, this is the final decision. Después de 3 vueltas de mucha más acción, esta es la decisión oficial. And the winner, by way of unanimous decision, la ganadora por decisión unánime, Camila Reynoso.
A great victory for Camila Buttercup Reynoso. Don't be fooled by the nickname. She is mean and tough inside La Jaula, picking up this win and perfecting her record. She looked incredible and amazing down there. And Hef is happy. Camel McLaren inside La Jaula. And if he's there, that means he got 2 thumbs up and was impressed by the action delivered by Camila Reynoso out of Buenos Aires, Argentina. Oh, and of course, we can't forget Kate del Castillo as well, inside La Jaula. A big fan of MMA and a big-time celebrity in telenovelas, soap operas. World known all over the world. Let's take a look back at this fight. 3 rounds of incredible action. Camila Reynoso started off at the top, then took the fight to the ground where she found her sweet spot. It was total domination on the ground. Nicole Geraldo just couldn't figure out the puzzle. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Look at that fish-eye view there, taking you forward, front, and center. Those punches, grueling. It hurts me just watching it. Elbows that were connecting. Of course, she tried to break the ground. She'd go for the slam, but non-effective. And into clinch, the knees. Impactful. The throw here from Reynoso backfired as Reynoso just landed in guard, didn't work from half guard. Now got the full mount, destroying Geraldo on the ground, leaving her incredibly busted open. Geraldo go for a desperate ankle lock, but it was just too slippery, couldn't get anything. And this was pretty much the end of the fight. Ground and pound and elbows. No response from the Mexican. Camila Reynoso gets the victory for los Argentinos right here in Ciudad de Mexico. Our own Beatriz Calles talking it up with Kate del Castillo. Oh, it was a fun, exciting fight in Mexico City where La Jaula returned. Boy, oh boy, as the Argentinos came out on top. But man, everyone delivered from top to bottom. Reynoso with the victory over Geraldo. This has been Combate Global.